Hi everyone, welcome to week 5. Alright, we're doing something new and different this week. I'm guessing some of the things we've done already are new and different, but this is a really different form of writing. It's not one that a lot of you have done before. What we're writing is called a critical reflection. It's asking you to think about your writing choices. So last week we wrote an academic multi-source synthesis essay. And this week, we're reflecting on the writing choices we made about that essay. Basically, I hope you reflected some already as you were writing it and thinking about why you were doing the things you did. But this gives you time. We're devoting 5 days to just considering why you wrote this paper the way you did, to give you a chance to think about if that was the best way for you to write it or not. And if you could do it again, what would you do differently? That's important because this is a trainer paper. Sorry. It's a trainer paper. It was helping you get ready for the academic multi-source synthesis essay 2. So we need this extra time to think about what did we do, what did we like about what we did, and what could have we done a little better. You don't lose points for admitting you made mistakes. Matter of fact, it shows you as a thoughtful person. Academics make mistakes all the time. And it's our ability to recognize our mistakes and to work off of them that matter. So this is a chance for that. So we're writing this critical reflection essay. And the most important thing about writing a critical reflection essay, at least for this class at this moment in time, is for you to talk about the choices you made for your audience. Audience is number one here. The difference between this class and all the writings that you've done elsewhere, and the creative writing that you do in your home life and your texting and all that, it's all about the audience. We're now writing for an academic audience, and there's a lot of different academic audiences, so I'm not going to pretend they're all the same. And this audience that we're writing to in this class is an academic audience of English instructors. They have a humanities bias. So we're talking to this one certain group of people who are academics. History academics are different. Social science academics are different. Math academics are different. Science academics are different. And by the way, they all have different doc styles. They don't all use MLA. So when you go on and you take 222 or another English class, or you're writing in your field for your other teachers, they will have you write in different formats, because you're writing to a different audience. But right now, we're just nailing that we can write to an audience. So we're writing this time to a group of English professors, because that's what we have on hand to practice with. So you're going to talk about all the choices you made for that English department audience. Why did you open the essay the way you did? Your very opening, your introduction. Why did you start with that? Did you have a thesis? Where was it? Why? What is the purpose of a thesis? Why does the audience want it? Why do you need to do it a certain way, put it in a certain place? You're trying to show that you were considering them carefully and that you made choices with them in mind. So, in order to do this well, your audience's expectations were all up here in the rubric. It was written out what they expected of you. And there's a video on the rubric too. Look, woo, that talks about the rubric. If you haven't looked at these before, it breaks my heart, but now is the time, because you need to be able to use the terms that are on this rubric and to understand them. And if you get hung up, get a hold of me, because you really need this. You need it. In order to write to these people and to meet their expectations, you have to understand what their expectations are. All right, so that's what this essay is. It's an explanation of why you wrote the paper the way you did. There's no perfect way to write this. There's no one organizational tool. Something I use that's handy is start at the beginning. How did you pick this topic? Why did you think it was right for the assignment in the audience? Why was it right for you? How did it help you do all the things they expected out of you? So I start with the beginning, with why I got this topic. At the end, I usually end with the revisions I made, like a couple paragraphs. Why did I revise those things? What do I think about the revisions I made? Were they good enough? Should have I kept going? What would I do if I had more time? And because you're writing still to a bunch of teachers, I would end with a paragraph on what you learned from the assignment. I think it's good for you too, but I also think your audience likes to hear that sort of thing. That's just one suggestion on how you might organize this. The rubric has different things that it asks for. You could organize by that. Your essay starts and has different paragraphs. You could organize by that, but make sure you are very specific. Name your sources. Why did you have sources at all? Why those sources? How did you use them? Why did you use them that way? I have examples up here. I always have examples up here. This is a brand new one that I just put up that I asked a student from last semester if I could use hers. It's sort of long. I think it's like 8 pages. These are normally 4 to 5 pages long. Meaning if you write it the first time and you're only at 2 or 3 pages, ask yourself, what have you left out? I mean, did you really talk about every single writing choice and how it suited the audience? Did you give examples of it? Because I don't think you can do that in 2 to 3 pages. You're trying to show yourself as a deep thinker. You're trying to show that you know what the academic audience wants, and that you can provide it. You're proving it. So that's my verbal advice. If you click on the assignment, it also talks to you about what I expect. It has the goals of the assignment, it has the description from the syllabus, and then it has my practical advice. This is due on Friday. Friday. And you're like, dude, but the week ends on Sunday. Why do I have to have this done by Friday? I'm going to show you versus just tell you. The reason is, as soon as this is done, and this is not a long, giant assignment that you're doing extra reading for, as soon as you have that assignment done, I want you to start on next week's assignment, week 6. We're back to 3 forums and synthesis paragraphs. I'll have a video on that, of course, but as soon as you get this done on Friday, so you have next weekend, start on week 6. Get those forums done ahead of time if you can. Start working on the synthesis paragraphs ahead of time if you can, because we're shifting to our second AMS paper starting week 6. So, week 5. Yay! New type of writing, something different. You're stretching yourself here. You're writing a critical reflection. It's probably 4 to 5 pages, might be 6. I need you to read these samples since it's such a different sort of assignment that you've never seen before. And I need you to really pay attention back to that rubric stuff. All right. Send me drafts Tuesday or Wednesday so I can get your feedback for sure before you have to turn them in Friday. I want to help. Get a hold of me. Talk to you soon.